Welcome to the channel. Thanks for tuning in to another video. This week we're installing a backup camera. Let's not waste any more time. We'll jump right into it. We'll be doing the camera today on my 17 Ram 1500. It is the base model, so it did not come with a backup camera. This one from Amazon was $40, and the best part is no wiring needed. I'll show you guys a couple different ways to get it set up. There is a way that you have to wire it to the truck, but there's also just a plug and play, easy way to do it. We'll be going over both of these today. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get started. Link is in the description if you guys want to go pick one of these up. Comes with everything you need. We got our monitor, the actual camera, some wiring, and then the camera mount. Pretty straightforward. Let's hop in the truck real quick where I have my buttons for my lights. I think I'm going to try to do something like that and wire it up in there. That way it's concealable and out of the way. This is a license plate mount. So this is going to just attach right here. We'll start here and then we'll work our way up. Our wires headed that way. We'll go straight back here nicely up towards the front of the truck. Let's get these tightened down and we'll move on to the next step. Got our license plate camera mounted. Now here is the wiring diagram for the first way we're gonna do it. You have our monitor in the cab with a pigtail off of it, cigarette lighter for power, and then that other pigtail comes off and hooks up to our license plate camera. With this way, you can have the camera on technically all the time if you wanted. So even while you're driving down the road, you can click it on and see what's behind you. This other way is like a factory backup camera. Whenever you put the truck or car into reverse, camera will turn on. So both ways have their pros and cons. I personally want to have the option to have it turned on all the time. If you were going this route, it does come with some wire taps. You have the same wiring going. Instead of a cigarette lighter, you run it to your reverse light and a ground. In this case, you would find whatever wire runs your reverse light bulbs, and you would use one of these wire taps to tap into your reverse light, and then you would do a ground as well. And that's how everything would get power instead. You put the truck into reverse, it gives it power and turns everything on. And with that way, you could only have it on in reverse. So that's why we're gonna go with the easier way and my preferred way for now, just running it straight off the cigarette lighter. This is our cigarette lighter button, and here is our reverse light wired. Here's our power and ground bundle of extension to get you from the front to the back of your vehicle. And then depending on how you do it, like we just talked about, this will either plug in, either this will plug into here or this will plug into here. And that's that. The hardest thing is finding a good way to route this wiring. You're gonna have to get creative going under panels and different things like that. Side note, if you did want to tap into the reverse light, it does come with these taps, so you don't gotta go buy anything special. Now that we have the camera mounted on the license plate and my monitor kind of in the spot where I like it, we can now work on getting wires from the front to the back. Just like my aux buttons have a wire running down here, and then it comes out the actual firewall on the dash and then comes up to a box under the hood. So I think I'm gonna try to follow that same route and then just dip down onto the frame and run it across the frame all the way back here up to the back bumper, securing it along the way, and then attach it right there. I've seen people route some of these cameras up onto like the third brake light or different things. If you have a car, you're probably gonna have to remove panels and stuff. Another way you could do this is come from, if you were mounting it up here or mounting it on the windshield, you would come down with your wires and you could follow up under these trim panels. So just do it once over, try to plan out the best route, and then just go for it. Make sure you don't zip tie anything yet. Just run a route right now, and we'll verify everything works before we clean up all the wires, zip tie everything up. After you get this big bundle of wire all undone, one side has two connectors on it, and the other side only has one. Make sure you're facing this the right direction, and you don't waste all this time routing this wire and it ends up being backwards. One heads towards the back of the vehicle, the two stay up front. The backup camera is all mocked up and wired up, ready to go. You can see the extra loop I got hanging down here. We are gonna test it out real quick, see if it works. So it's plugged in right here. Should be able to push this and the camera turns on. There are a couple buttons on the back. You can read through the directions. You turn on and off those guidelines, and you can also adjust them inside and out, move them around, sort of thing. Read through those directions, see what everything does, get it set up how you like. Also on this particular one, if you get it, you will notice there is a green wire and a white wire right at the end of the connector toward the license plate. Around the outside of the camera there are LED lights, so if you would like, on this particular model, if you cut the green wire, that will turn the lights off. The lights obviously help you when you're backing up, give you better vision on the camera, so I would leave them. I'm not going to cut the green wire. And then the white wire is to reverse the camera, so if the image is backwards and you want it flipped the other way, you would cut this white wire and that would do that for you. I'm gonna leave everything as is. All that's left to do for me is I have to reattach this drawer here and clean up my wiring, zip tie everything up nicely, and then I'll be all done. You can obviously make this as easy or as hard as you want, depending on how clean you want it to look. I was making it hard on myself, trying to make it work with that pull-out drawer. It would have obviously just been easier to just run the wires under the dash and pop them out and call it a day. But I wanted to go for a little bit cleaner look. So again, you can go as crazy as you want with this. It all depends on your own vehicle. Make sure to keep that in mind as well. I'm gonna go ahead and zip tie up the rest of these wires, get everything sitting how I like it, and then we should be close to being done. One thing I would recommend doing is at your connection points, maybe taking some electrical tape and just covering this guy really good, especially on your connection point on your license plate camera, just for an extra layer of protection, holding everything together. You don't have to, but it's just a thought. Our backup camera is completely wired up. I'll give you guys a quick run through. Here's how it turned out. There's my cigarette lighter, and I ran the wires down up under the dash. Looks nice and clean. Then in here, there's our screen. Turn it on, and there we go. Everything tucks away nicely. Again, you can have this on while you're driving when you wire it up this way. Ended up going through the firewall, like I said, dropped down, ran all the way along the frame, and jumped up right to the camera right there. The lights on the backup camera too are automatic, so they only turn on when it's actually dark out. You can see them turning on a little bit there. So they're based off like a photo cell type idea, which is a pretty cool idea for a $40 backup camera. Again, the link is gonna be in the description for you guys to order this setup, and then you can wire it up the exact same way. That's gonna wrap up today's video. As always, I appreciate all the support. If you guys found this video useful, please consider subscribing, drop a like, drop a comment. Let me know what you guys think. What do you wanna see next on the truck? Take it easy, and we'll catch you on the next one.